Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, what we're going to discuss is directed, enlightened entitlement, right? So, for your greatness. So, a lot of people, like when they hear the word entitlement, they think of arrogance. They think of someone who's pompous, who, hasn't like earned or deserved what it is that they're looking to do. Like there's an entitlement. Like people, like you've heard the term, like people have a sense of entitlement, right? But yet, when someone has an entitlement, it's because they earned it, right? They did the work to get to that place. So when I say an enlightened sense of entitlement, I actually got this word. I'm reading this book by Hal Elrod called The Miracle Equation, and it's a great book. And he talks about enlightened entitlement, and I think it's called misdirected entitlement. And I'm talking about direct entitlement, like directly enlightening yourself in the direction. So by the end of this, you're going to learn, what it takes to really feel entitled to do something. Because what happens if you don't feel like you deserve something in your life, if you don't feel like you deserve to be this person, you're probably never going to do it. The truth is like, when you feel that you deserve it, like when you feel it and you soak it down to your bone marrow, like I deserve this, and then you go and you put the effort in learning or earning, the reps to do, the thing that you want to do, then you actually deserve it. You've earned to learn, and then you deserve. And when you put in that effort on whatever it is to you, whatever you're learning, whatever you're looking to accomplish, whatever you're looking to attain in this one great life towards your greatness, it's because you were enlightened. You knew, you had this vision, you had this imagination that led you to believe that there is something better. And, the entitlement is, you're not entitled yet until you're enlightened. When you're enlightened from within. And you're like, you know what, I can do this. I can build the reps so I can move forward in this endeavor. And then you work for that entitlement. You don't get it yet, but you work. When you put in the effort, you put in the energy, and you put in the work, and you put in the love, and you put in the passion, you put in the suffering, and then you earn the experience that the world gives back to you. And then you take what's good and you remove what's bad, and then you do it again. You get better. You take these things that I call mental notes. Mental notes. When you're looking and you're directing your energy to intentionally get what you want, and you take the mental notes from the first time that you learn something into the second time, then you get better at it. You tweak it, right? It's like me doing the YouTube videos. I have to keep doing them and keep doing them, keep doing them and keep doing them until I get better. And then eventually I'll edit these things. But for now, it's getting to the reps. But I feel entitled because I've done the work in my field. I've gotten a lot of experience in coaching and guiding people to where they want to go, where they want to build that bridge. And I feel enlightened because I've done the work. And the entitlement comes from doing the work and putting in the effort, right? And learning from the experiences that I've had from being out in the field and getting a field report instead of a book report, right? But when you're looking to direct your enlightened self towards your greatness, it's going to take work. It's going to take effort. You're gonna have to reinforce your belief in your own potential and your recognition of that potential. And the way you do that is by being potent, by being energetic, by putting energy into the thing that you really want to accomplish. Because the truth is you get what you focus on, right? If you're focused on negative thoughts, guess what? You get negative things happen in your life. Focused on positive thoughts, and you give yourself good inputs, right? You raise your energy. You say, you know what? Let me look at that differently than the way I used to. Because you might look at it, it's something bad, and then you're like, you know what? Let me relook at that a little different way. And you look at it a different way, and then it repurposes itself, and you reframe that experience, and then you take it and you lower your stress level and you look at it as a positive thing instead of a negative thing. And then you get better around it, whatever it is for you. Like you have to use your imagination around these things. But the thing, you think about how much harder it is to pursue a goal when you don't really feel that you deserve it, right? That's why people don't reach the goals, because they don't feel deserving of that goal. And the reason why you don't feel deserving of that goal is because you haven't put in the time, you haven't put in the energy, and you haven't put in the attention. And I call that tea time. You have to put in, and I should make a video on that, tea time. You got to put in your time, energy, and attention, and you can associate that with making a hot tea and then putting in like, okay, I got to do 2 to 4 hours. I got to work from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. so I can get this done, like gun to your head kind of stuff. So I can feel entitled and I can feel enlightened and I can work towards that greater good that I'm looking to achieve. Because, you don't just feel entitled, you have to earn. You have to earn the learn on that. And that comes with time, that comes with energy, that comes with attention, that comes putting in energy, that comes putting in a lot of work and putting in love with it too. Like you kind of want to love, you want to feel like empowered to own yourself and kind of like focus in the direction of what you're trying to do, but kind of like veer off a little bit to do your own thing and maybe put a little tweak or spin on whatever it is for you to make it your own unique gift to the world, right? Because you know what, and I'm reading here from notes, keep in mind that sometimes you need to gain a little traction, right? Traction with what you're doing. You got to put in little like forced energy and momentum into what you're doing. And as one of my mentors, Brian, calls it, he calls it Mr. Mo. Mr. Momentum. You got to put in that constant, it's kind of like a NASA space shuttle, right? At first it can't get out of the space until it hits stratosphere, and then it can just keep going. That momentum just sends it to where it needs to go. And that's what we need to do in life. So we can have that enlightened entitlement, right? That directed, enlightened entitlement towards our greatness. And our greatness is all unique to ourselves. It's not just, being great, like the word great, and you're probably thinking, well, I'll never be great. You'll be great in your own rights when you put in the effort and energy and push a little bit. We're in a time where everybody wants to get off the gas a little bit and not put on the gas, because that's what the environmental is cueing around us. It's telling us, you need to relax, don't do too much. There's nothing happening right now. There's not enough jobs, there's not enough this. The world is giving us a lot of lack right now, right? Which is not true. We're on an abundant planet. We all eat every day. There's food everywhere. There's water. There's people. There's intelligence. There's knowledge. There's skills. There's capabilities. There's abilities. There's things online that are being offered, right? And there's ways to make revenue. There's ways to earn your learn on whatever it is you want to do. And I think now is the best time ever, right? Because people do believe they have time, but when you sharpen your skills, when you're feeling enlightened, when you're like, what, I do. Enlightening, to me, is kind of like creating your own energy, your own, remember as a kid, I was in Maine at my aunt's house, and I remember running and catching lightning bugs. We used to catch them, put them in bottles, and then just hold the bottle up and look at that, and it just, that captivate and energy, that enlightened energy, we all have within us. And entitlement is the work that we put into it, so we earn that title. We earn that title of that identity that we're looking to, project into the future, right? So we can draw ourselves to a compelling future, which we must do. And the more deserving, with all the effort you put in, you'll naturally start feeling that confidence behind it, right? Like I put in a lot of work with what I do. Like I stumble too. Like I'm sure maybe some of you guys are thinking, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's okay. But I stumble through what I'm doing so I get better. Like for instance, I run 3 miles a day, every day, right? 6 days a week. I do take one day off. I don't even like to take that day off, but I run about 18 miles a week and I work out 5-6 times a week as well. And it's I have to do it because I'm looking to direct myself to a different kind of future. With health being a number one priority, with other number one priorities. But I feel directed because I do the work, I do the practice, and I know that and eventually when everything opens up, I'm going to enter a race of something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm doing the work and I'm putting in the reps. So where in your life can you put in the reps, right? So you can work and direct your positive energy and your negative energy as well into something that you want to feel enlightened about, that you want to have an entitlement to work towards, and you want to work because it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a greater person if you do the work. If you don't do the work, you're not going to feel great. You're not going to feel like you're on purpose. You're not going to feel driven. You're not going to feel excellent. You're not going to feel, because we all go by the way we feel. We all have a certain way that we feel. And most of us are in our heads. And when you're in your head, you're dead. We're never, connected to the moment. It's a rare person that I meet that's really connected to the moment. Most people that I hang out with are very consumed within themselves. And I'm working towards leaning towards people that want to feel actual connections to the moment, and not feel weird about being connected to the moment. And I think it takes time, and sometimes you got to walk your own path alone. But when you're directing your own energy in your own entitlement because you know that you deserve it because you're putting in the work, you'll earn it through your effort. So hopefully that helps. And I'd love for you to leave a comment below. And awesome. Take care of yourself. Have an amazing day. Take care.